All right, well, let's start with a bit of news. Um, the You probably heard them talk about this for a while. The Republican Party has been complaining for a long time that the spam filters are blocking Republican emails, but not Democratic emails. And the reason is not that the Google is discriminating, like they say. The reason is because the Republicans sent out really a lot of spam. This is a test with honeypots. They set up a bunch of email receivers that were not used by real people just to see who would send email to them. And as you can see, the red is the Republicans sending a whole lot of emails to them, which is why they get caught in spam filters. So we'll see what comes of this. It is true, obviously, that the Republican fundraising emails are getting blocked more than the Democratic ones, but it's not because the companies like Google are politically censoring. It's because they're blocking the spam and not blocking the less spammy senders. This reminds me of that. They also complain that fact checking hurts Republicans more than Democrats because they lie more, but they don't like that part. Uh, anyway, so there's a huge lawsuit from book authors suing the AI companies for training on their work without paying them. And what happened is sort of interesting. The judge ruled that if they bought the books, it would be perfectly legal to train an AI on them. The problem is they pirated the books. So he just punished them for software piracy and had to pay $1.5 billion for downloading lots of books. So that's an interesting result. And I imagine it'll be appealed, shoved up. But if you just have buying one copy of the book means you can train an AI on them, I think that will not satisfy the authors. But it may bring some clarity in this, which is one of the big issues holding back AI. So Elon Musk, as you probably know, he would only stop meddling in politics and focus on Tesla. Everybody would love him. The Tesla brand is in big trouble. The Chinese competitors are cheaper and better. They're having trouble selling them anywhere. And so the Tesla board has offered him a huge pay package if he makes Tesla grow a lot in the next few years, enough that it'll make him a trillionaire if he meets the performance goals. And this is probably the best thing anybody could do for him. I go to a protest every week outside Tesla. The problem with Elon Musk is the same thing with Henry Ford. The cars are great, but he's a Nazi. And if you need somebody in his life to give him some advice to say, shut up about the politics and just make the cars, and then everybody will love you. And this is their way to try to make him do that. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's addicted to the politics, but we'll see. But it is an interesting move, and it would certainly probably be much better for him if he just focused more on Tesla. But he's closely allied with J.D. Vance. And with Trump seeming to get more sick, J.D. Vance expects to be president soon, and then he'd bring Elon Musk back. So that's probably what he's going to do. Anyway, you can get a free year of Microsoft 365 for being a student if you want it. That's their Microsoft's Cloud Office suite. So that's an option, I guess, if you want it. And a friend of mine sent me this, which I don't think the news people have noticed. The IRS was audited for security just a little while ago, and the results are terrible, as they almost always are. This is something that's been going on for about 10 years. We now have security rules to test a company to see if they're secure, and we have military rules, and they audit the Department of Defense, and they're always very far out of compliance because we do understand what you should do, but they don't have the money or the skill to actually do it. And so here's the issue. Overdue versus this is the number of unresolved vulnerabilities in September, October, and November. Does look like maybe they've gone down from 26,000 to 11,000. So perhaps they're making some progress. But they say the percentage of overdue critical vulnerabilities increased. So anyway, it's interesting that they're doing a security audit, and not surprising that they're failing very badly. This is why, and it's much, much worse with critical infrastructure like power plants and water plants. Our stuff is pretty much undefended. That's why there's a huge push, not only in the United States, but all over the world, to secure our critical infrastructure. And I talked to Dark Tangent at DEF CON, and he said he's trying people all over the world that want people to go train other countries in how to secure their critical infrastructure. Almost nobody knows how to do it. And so all the people that write code are making the developers use AI. Microsoft is forcing all the developers to use AI or get fired because they're greatly wedded to their AI product. But tests show that this is bad for security, among other things. And one of the main problems is when you make commits. Commits are changes to the code. And people that use AI make larger commits with more code all at once, so it's harder to find the flaws in it, and so on. So, in general, most people are finding that this is not as valuable as people hoped it would be. Which is true, by the way, of all forms of AI. AI is incredibly expensive to produce, and they're selling it at a huge loss, and people are pouring investment money in it, but so far it has yet to make any product that is actually very valuable. Everyone seems to believe the hype from Silicon Valley that in just a couple of years some amazing product will appear and the people that developed AI will get rich. But it's not clear how that's going to happen. And we've heard this before. We heard this with blockchain a while ago and so on. And so anyway, OpenAI, a lot of people are firing their staff. And what OpenAI thinks you should do is learn AI, and they have a free training product, the OpenAI Academy. I signed up and looked at it. I wasn't terribly impressed yet, but there's a lot of new things coming in. So you may want to look at that. It's a free online academy. I'll be teaching an AI course next semester, and I'll probably include this in there. I already include the Google machine learning training, which is free, and the OpenAI training is also a good thing to look at. Anyway, that's enough of the news. Let me stop the